Hey, what's going on, guys? I hope you all are well. Today I want to talk to you about your butt. Yep, your glutes, okay? These big muscles on the back of your body that everyone wants to get nice and tight, right? But you might hear us in the gym mention that maybe they're not firing, or can you feel it in your glutes and you can't feel it, so maybe they're underactive, okay? So what today I want to do is just give you a few movements that you can do to try and fire them up. And you can do this prior to a workout is great. So if you come in a bit early, you can do these exercises just to get them firing. So particularly on those lower body days, all right? Now this tool is a Glute Bands. I love this tool for this particular reason, that it is great for firing up that lower body. So I'm going to give you some movements that you can come in and do now, all right? So the first one, we'll start with the bridge. So you guys, you should be doing a lot of bridging with us, or hip thrusts, or whatever you want to call it. There's a few names for it. But really with this, it's great because we can get this band around the bottom or the top of the knee. You can play around and see where you feel the most activation. But this is just going to add that resistance. As we open our knees, we're going to feel our glutes fire up from that, okay? So feet, heels particularly on the ground. I'll just change my angle a bit. And we're going to drive away. So you can bring your heels closer together if you like, or you can keep your feet out. But the idea is to try and maximize that tension against the glute band. Driving the backs of the arms down, and then we're going to squeeze up. Now it's not about how high you can go, it is just about that contraction. So squeeze through your glutes, brace your core, and fight that band going out, okay? So for me with this particular movement, majority I like below the knee, but I actually do feel better with this one above the knee, okay? So it is just doing a series of squeeze and open, all right? The second one while you're on the ground, by the way, you can do sets of say 8 to 10 are probably good to do with this one. Gonna roll on my mic. The next one is our clams, okay? This is a popular one because it is really effective. So we want to get our legs basically at 90 degrees, but we've got this 45-degree angle at the hip here. Feet together, and I'm just gonna use my bottom arm just as a bit of a cushion here. But we're going to drive up, and I'm rotating the toe up, as you can see there as well. But what I want to try and avoid is rotating my hips with it. I want to keep pointing my pelvis in the same direction, but I just want to try and use as much of the glute as I can to open up. Another key thing to look for here is your knee position. Is this top one should be just slightly in front or going over the bottom one, okay, for that position. If we're too back here, this is, if our knee is too far back from the other one, then we're going to find that we want to rotate our hips with it. So get that knee over, so we're really trying to maximize that activation there. Again, you might do 8 to 10 reps per side, okay? Next up, we'll stand up now. Majority of these I like below the knee, in particular, probably mid-shin. The lower you go with this, and this is our crab walks where we go sideways, the more resistance it sort of adds to you, okay? So with this, we're gonna sit down into it. So if I go side on, I'm gonna slightly sit down. And that just allows me to be in a good position to move sideways, okay? So feet shoulder width, and I'm leading with the knee, okay? A lot of the time when we do this movement, we might have people that will lead with the foot, okay? We don't want that because we want to try and use those glutes as much as possible, and that will tend to switch them off a little bit where we want that most of that activation. So it's going to be lead with the knee and then control in. Lead with the knee, control in. And again, you can just do a series of however many. It can be 3 to 5 to 8 where you go in one direction if you've got the space. But generally, it's great to just do a couple each way. And we like to use this in a lot of our warm-ups as well, especially for our small group team, to really get those glutes going, okay? Now with that, you can add a squat in as well. So we can be step, step, and then I'm going to squat down. And now with that one, I would just raise that band a little bit, to still below the knee, but a little bit higher for that squat. So then it's lead with the knee, step, and then I'm going to squat down. So we're mixing and putting that combo together of that lateral walk into the squat, okay? So that's a great one as well. We've then got monster walks where we actually walk forward. So the crab is to the side. The monster walk is where we'll go on a diagonal, or we can move in a forward direction. Hey, bud. So we're going to step, diagonal, control in. Step, control. Step, and control, okay? So that's really good as well with our monster walks. And then also adding into that, we can then go into lying face down to really get the glutes as well. Another one we can do is keep that band around that mid shin. I'll just get a little bit lower. And then from here, I'm going to tuck my pelvis, so I'm crunching my abs, because I don't want to be getting my bum up in the air with this one. I want to get nice and flat, because what tends to happen when we lift our leg here, so I'm driving up and feeling that squeeze, but we tend to arch our back with it. But I want you to avoid that. So it's squeeze up and control down. Okay, and again, you might do a series of 8 or so per side. So there's some quick ones, guys, that you can use prior to workouts just to fire them up, and they're great during workouts too. So even as rest periods, if you want to fire your glutes up more, you can jump into some of those movements to help complement you doing your squats and your deadlifts and things like that. So hope you enjoyed that, guys. Put them to use, and we'll see you soon. Catch up.